Yeah. Oh, man. Sorry. There we go. Oh, geez. I'm here with 45 Grave. Oh, no! Tonight, I'm joined by Dylan Thomas and Tom Coyne of 45 Grave. But first, we got the...
Something on my face.
Oh, man. Tom, Dylan, thanks for joining us. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Terrible. Terrible? Oh, no! Oh, I got to watch where I pop in and out on this thing. It's like, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I'll just watch you guys on here.
Don't be directly you.
Yeah. Guys, so thanks for coming to Denver and performing at the Zombie Prom at HQ just down the street from Mutiny Cafe here.
It's cool here.
Very cool.
This is a very cool shop.
Yeah, most definitely.
And the club has amazing sound. I really like it.
Oh, good.
And the sound guys really
Good. That's awesome. Yeah,
It's a nice spot.
we're excited to have you guys out.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tom, I interviewed you, last year, I believe?
Probably this time last year.
Nice,
Maybe.
nice. Yeah, talking about some of your own, individual creative efforts and stuff.
For my solo project.
Ooh.
Sometimes they let drummers play by themselves.
Oh, dear.
Sometimes they let the drummer be the boss. But
Oh, that's dangerous.
that's usually pretty short-lived.
But you don't let them sing.
Yeah. In this band, it's not like that.
Yeah.
But that was for my Feast project,
Nice.
which is my drumming-centric kind of COVID project, if you remember.
Right.
I did that when the lockdown started and sent out tracks to people around the country. We would send them back and we put out 3 songs.
Nice. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, Dylan, during the pandemic, were you working on your own projects?
No, I tried. I have a little home studio, but I it's all new to me. I'm kind of old school. I figured a long time ago that people who are good at recording, they spend a lot of time learning how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured it was more important for me to become a better player and let the people who have the time and the devotion to record, let them do it. But now it's sort of a required thing. I have people who want me to do tracks remotely, and in the past I've had to say no because I couldn't figure it out. Now I kind of have a system going that I like, and I can do it. Yeah,
That's why I just hired people to record me.
Yeah.
They're part of the project.
Yeah.
So I don't know any of that stuff. I just know how to play drums.
Well, to that point, it makes it more collaborative.
Yeah. But we have friends that have studios, and that's their art. Nice. So I'm not going to try to learn that.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 30 years. You do it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
that's how I saw it.
Right.
It is kind of cool if someone sends you in a live situation. You go into their studio and the clock is running, and you got to come up with the perfect part right then and there, and you may have to do takes. And when they send it to you remotely, and it's just you and the track, you can take your time with it. You can edit it if you want, do a comp of your part. So in that way, it is fun.
Yeah.
Maybe even funner. But you also lose the happy accidents that come when it's like on the spot.
Right.
And you got to go with the first or second, third thing that comes up.
Right.
Dylan and I Dylan and I played on a record for this other project with some friends who watch in LA called the Pendejos of Doom.
Pendejos of Doom.
And
Shout out
awesome.
to Jason
Yeah.
August Man.
Nice.
And while we were tracking, we were getting some interference from outside.
Mhm.
And it was a Latino preacher preaching on the street corners, screaming and yelling. And it was coming
It
through
was
one of-
coming in.
your pedal, right?
One of my pedals was
Wow.
receiving this audio signal, but it came in at the perfect
and
time.
we kept it.
Yeah, we kept it. It's blended with the tracks.
So in the mix,
Oh my
they just
gosh, that's
stopped. They
great.
stopped the band so you could hear this guy
Yeah.
screaming about Jesus.
And
It
he's
sounds
screaming
perfect.
in
Yeah.
Spanish,
Yeah.
you know, about Jesus and the devil, and because there was a church,
Yeah.
a Latino church, storefront church,
Okay.
like downstairs, and
Downtown LA.
that's where they probably were using a wireless transmitter, and it was picking up through my gear. It worked out perfectly. That
Wow.
wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, so that's a happy accident.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, and then working on that stuff by yourself too. You get to live with it, let it marinate,
Yeah.
see
Mhm.
if it still has a resonance. That it had as soon as you laid it down, it's like does it
Right.
have that staying power?
There's
and
benefits
stuff.
to both. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to have a producer there or somebody else. No, that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Because if it's just me, I might say, well, no, that's not the one. Let me try it again.
Mm.
And you can, micromanage yourself. you
Right.
know.
Mhm. It is true. A lot of times you play stuff better as soon as you've learned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you play something 800 times, you lose a little bit of the
Yeah.
That,
excitement or whatever that.
that vitality.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Right.
just depends on it.
In 45 Grave, when you guys go to work on new material, is it along the lines of that same collaborative spirit, or is it got to be more divisive? It's like, okay,
We
you do
don't
this,
really
you do
work on.
this.
We haven't really worked on new material. We have introduced a couple of new instrumental things, and that was very collaborative.
Cool.
But we try to. I try to copy the sounds that I heard when
Yeah.
I first heard 45 Grave, because I was a fan when in 1982,
Yeah.
and I was 12, so I wasn't going to shows. So my only experience with 45 Grave was what my friends were playing,
Right.
and so I just try to make it sound like the record as closely as possible, and when possible, I'll throw in my own personality, but I try to keep it as much to the record as I can.
When we did a record in 2012,
Right.
and with that one, it was collaborative.
Yeah.
But what we did is to make sure it was still the same band, the same
Mhm.
brand, and all that.
Right.
It all came from Dinah, mostly. So she had a book of lyrics from 1978, 1979
Nice.
that she just had never used. So we
Okay.
wrote some songs
Yeah.
based on her lyrics.
Oh, that's cool.
There were two of them in particular that she had written back then. There were a couple other songs that the original 45 Grave lineup
Yeah.
wrote but never recorded.
Okay.
So we did two of those. And then there were a few that were from other writers that had been in the band. She's been doing it
Yeah.
since 2004. All these different people.
Yeah.
So there's two songs in that record that are actually brand new. Not anymore. They're 10 years old now.
Yeah.
But that was all collaborative. But it all comes from her.
Yeah.
And it's her name, right?
Yeah.
We're just all there to kind of
Support
help
that.
her. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, and that's such a great thing when you guys can coalesce around, a singular vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to have one leader.
Yeah.
You can't have four leaders.
No.
You end up in court or
Yeah.
whatever. This
Yeah.
way it's easier to know who decides. She always decides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And with the last album that you described too, that the single Night of the Demons, that was used in the remake of for the remake film, I should say. I remember. Yeah, I mentioned to you I was watching that video this morning, watching the special effects transformation, into demons
Yeah,
and stuff. It's like it's so much fun.
I still have the prosthetics from that.
Oh, cool.
The teeth and the eyes. I still have all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So probably not. If there was any latex used,
There was a lot of latex.
I'd imagine that's probably rotted by now too.
No, that was gone the day
Oh, okay.
They had the teeth, like the
Yeah.
like Billy Bob teeth, the vampires or whatever.
Yeah.
I still have all that stuff.
Nice. Oh, that's so fun. Do you ever like go around the neighborhood during Halloween and still use?
I open the door at Halloween and scare the kids.
Nice.
But,
That's so cool. Yeah, my entrance to 45 Grave was the film Return of the Living Dead, which it is for so many people.
Yeah.
And you guys, performing at Zombie Prom tonight, just down the street. I mean, it's really fitting. The horror, punk rock, ethos that has been around since the advent of 45 Grave, and to hear it's got to be fun to see that generational shift, the passing of the baton of that culture.
it gets younger and younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't know how it is like at your festival.
Right. Colorado Festival.
Like you were talking about the other day at our shows, there's a gaggle of people that are our age that saw the movie in the 80s and they're still coming out for nostalgia. And then there's a group of 19 to 25-year-old
They know all the words.
Latina girls
Nice.
that know all the words.
Oh wow.
So there's always this little undergrowth
Yeah.
of new kids getting into that stuff.
When you interact with your fans, do you ever like, hey, how do you want our music, or how do what's your entry point? Obviously, like I mentioned before, ours is the film,
Right.
and then it's like,
I
is
think
it the
it's
That's a
same
good
thing?
question. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think they obviously know the movie,
yeah,
and then they know the records because they know the words to songs that aren't in the movie. So I think, it's amazing that they know it.
yeah.
And that's not just the United States or in LA.
Yeah.
We went to Chile. Big group
Right,
of people
right.
knew all the words.
They knew all the words. They didn't speak English, but they knew all the words.
That's cool. Well, and today especially with the pandemic and everything, like streaming is so prevalent.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of different copies of Return of the Living Dead on DVD and Blu-ray over the years. But today I just went to Amazon and Amazon Prime and Shudder, and then there they were in a bunch of different formats.
It's easier for kids now.
Yeah.
Which maybe isn't as fun or not as meaningful to them as it was when you found
Mm-hmm. Watching it with
Rocky
friends
Horror
on
when you found it by yourself and you thought, wow,
yeah,
because it wasn't on your phone. You
right,
had to find it, go to it, go at
Right.
night and see it at some shady theater somewhere.
yeah,
The other freaks that happen to be there, right? And that's how you get into that.
yeah.
That culture.
The same thing is true of music too. I love going to the record store and thumbing through all these records, vinyl, CDs, even cassette tapes. It's like, I don't know what this band is, but you're judging by the artwork half the time. Sometimes the record store will let you play that, or they have a playable version ready to go. But nowadays, I'm just trolling through the internet, and seeing like, what haven't I heard? What's gonna grab my ear and stuff. And so now it's mostly just going to YouTube and seeing what are your suggestions. And it's like, let's go down this rabbit hole of punk rock.
That's how you get into scenes when you're a kid.
Yeah.
I think with like punk rock or goth, which is kind of where we fall,
Mm-hmm.
you get into high school when you're 14 and you discover your friend likes Bauhaus.
Yeah.
So you find that, and then you have to get, there's all the bands where you have to get their patch, right, to be in that crew.
Right.
So you have to get the Ministry patch and the Joy Division patch.
Sisters of Mercy.
And then as you go through it, you end up with a Christian Death and a 45 patch.
Right.
So I would say we're sort of lower on that totem pole. Patches you have to have. But that's how kids kind of come to us, I think.
Right.
They get into that little niche. And then you know how kids are.
Yeah.
They'll just do everything. They'll get every. I was the same way with music when I was 15.
Yeah. I would say like these days too. They're because everything's so accessible. They're almost like more like a sponge.
Yes.
Absorbing all that. Talking to my girlfriend too. She's young kids. Coming out of college. They knew how to code.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
when
It's
they were
crazy.
teenagers.
Right.
You know.
You're like, how does my phone open? I can't
Right.
turn it on.
Right. I still do that. You know, and
You just did.
yeah. My nephew can do that. It's like, okay, Uncle Dan, it's like, let's put you down.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, do you need a hot cocoa?
It's time for your shows.
Yeah. They're my
Wapner's on.
stories, son.
Yeah, Wapner's on at 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, Judge Wapner. Oh man, no, that's so cool. You know, I'm so excited too that you guys are, you know, continuing to do that. You know, after this show, you know, what's the next gig?
For a while.
The next thing that's booked, we tend to do conventions and cons, festivals like this.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing that's booked is in Austin, Texas.
Oh, cool.
In the middle of March.
Nice.
And that's a horror music convention.
Sweet.
And that comes from being Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
So that's really good for us.
Nice.
We tend to do more stuff like we fly out, do a festival for 3 days, come back.
Okay.
Rather than getting in a van.
Yeah.
Driving around for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we're old. Except for the other one.
Yeah, he's eternal.
Oh, I'm no longer the youngest person in the band.
Oh. Yeah,
we have a new member who's he's 45. He just turned 45.
Oh, okay.
He's a baby.
Wow, he's my age.
See, youngsters.
Yeah.
Youngin.
You look younger than me. What's your secret?
No kids, no smoking.
No, yeah. That's also my secret. It's not working out for me. I still look like cracked glass. That's awesome. The so tonight you'll get out there, you'll kill it, you rock it. You know, what other things are you looking forward to? You know, at this event, Zombie Prom.
I'd like to meet Miss Wright.
Okay.
Or Miss Right now.
Miss Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Miss Zombie.
Miss, I gotta
October
go.
3rd.
I gotta go to sleep now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's fun with these things?
Yeah.
It's just I've been in the goth scene a long time.
Yeah.
And the fun thing about that scene versus like metal or punk is seeing who dressed up, what the costumes are.
Right.
In in this scene, everybody can be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The overweight teenager can wear a gown and look gorgeous, and everybody's like, right? You don't get any of that competitive judgment stuff.
Yeah, none of that
It's-
caste system.
Yeah.
It's all inclusive.
Everybody's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Or you could be ugly or scared or whatever.
Right.
It's all fine. So that's always pretty fun to see who went all out and who's wearing who's the zombie going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I would say our band, it's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Or it's a gag anyway.
Yeah.
Like the humor of horror stuff,
Right.
mixed with punk rock. It's like
Right.
the Addams Family if they were a punk band. Kind of.
Well,
That's
it
kind of the
fits
gag.
perfect with like Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, you dress up it's kind of funny,
Yeah.
really. You know what I mean? To an extent.
Yeah.
So,
It's a camp.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's campy.
A little kitsch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see fans that get that,
Yeah.
and that's pretty cool because they get the joke, if that makes sense. And other kids just want to hear it. They just want to hear evil.
Yeah.
Sing, you know what I mean?
Right. The and that's so much fun. Like with the horror community, it's one of the most passionate groups
Yes.
I've ever come across in fandom. Whether it's music or if you go to like the big box Comic Cons, the attendees might be lukewarm sometimes. They're either passionate or they're not. But when you go to a horror convention or a horror film festival, they're right in. They're interested in what you're doing. What's it about? So but I also find the same thing with music too. It's such a music itself is such a quick delivery system. Because it's instantaneous. It's quicker than reading. You get that emotion or that hook.
It takes you to a place.
Yeah.
It takes you, whatever your past association is with the song, it'll take you back there. A lot like smells.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Music is incredibly like 4D.
Yeah.
It just
Right.
engulfs the senses, and as you said, it's very transportive. Oh,
So it is interesting, like playing a place like this. When you're outside of Los Angeles, not everybody in the room that we're playing to is a musician.
Right.
Everybody's in a band. So you know, people are looking at your app, or looking at your a lot of dudes like this.
Right.
You don't find once you get out of LA, you know, in New York too.
Yeah.
You don't see that as much. It's just people that like the music. They don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They don't know what chord you're playing.
It's that magic and mystery.
Yeah. Right.
They don't notice when you fuck up.
Yeah.
So like you're the magician and they don't know how you're doing the trick.
Right.
Where at home everybody knows how you're doing it. And they can all play the song too, probably, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like every show play there, everybody's been in this band practically.
But they don't know how to play it the way you play. Only you can do that.
I'll take that.
That's because they don't have Dinah telling them how it really is.
Right.
That's right.
She will tell you how it's really.
Yeah.
It's interesting because she'll go into these raps about we were in this frame of mind when we wrote this song in 1980. We were on this pharmaceutical that these two members were having a fight. I mean, all that stuff. So it gives you more like insight in how to play like they did.
Oh, that's awesome. Before we wrap up, real quick, what are your favorite go-to horror movies for Halloween, Dylan?
Without a doubt, and I'm really, maybe somebody can answer this for me, but without a doubt, 1977, Dawn of the Dead. It's not on any streaming service. I think you can buy it on Amazon Prime, but I'm not sure. But why it's not available? It's my all-time favorite horror movie. And it needs to be out there. And of course, my second favorite would be Halloween 1 or Halloween 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I am not a horror guy, except up until the mid-'80s.
Okay.
I like all horror movies from like 1985 and before.
Oh, okay.
After that, I just kind of lost. I like they stopped being campy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my mom is she was in Hills Have Eyes. She was the original Hills Have Eyes. Wow. So I saw that when I was 10.
Yeah.
It came out in 77, and then it came out on cable, and then I got to see my mom get mauled by mountain people. And so that might.
And now look at it.
Yeah. Now and so I'm a mess as a result. But no,
that makes you just more endearing.
Yeah.
That's why it's so interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, the modern horror movies, they just don't do anything for me.
Okay.
The original 1977 Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah. Nice. That's awesome. How about yourself, Tom?
So for me, I think this is because I was raised a good Catholic boy. Mm-hmm. The Exorcist and The Omen scared the fuck out of me because I believed that it was possible. Yeah. So every time, even now, I see it, and it trips off some little warning thing in your mind that, oh yeah, that might be true. I've heard of that. Yeah. Outside of that, so the Exorcist is the scariest thing I've ever seen. But I don't really like slasher kind of movies. Okay. I don't find them scary. They're just kind of, to me, they're shocking. Yeah. It's like murder porn. Yeah.
Kind of the post-Halloween.
Yeah. Like you said, I love the campy. We were talking about Saturday the 14th today.
I just saw that a month and a half ago on Shudder. Yeah, that's streaming there. Yeah. Oh, that
we were
movie's
watching
hilarious.
Prom night. This morning.
The original with Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah.
And we just kind of had it on.
Yeah.
But I will amend my answer.
Oh, okay.
With there's a modern movie called The Witch. Have you seen The Witch?
Yes, I've seen The Witch.
That is terrifying and very well done. I think it transcends the label horror.
Right.
It's just a great movie.
Have you seen The Love Witch?
I have not.
It's not a horror movie. Okay. It's a witchy movie.
Okay.
It's fucking hilarious.
Is it?
It's great, yeah. My wife adores that movie. She's watched it probably 10 times last year.
So you highly recommend that?
Yeah, it's campy. Yeah. But
camp is great.
Yeah. It's not really a horror film, but it's fucking fun.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, I saw something you haven't seen.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Wow. I don't consider myself an aficionado by any.
You just run the festival.
I just run the festival. Turns out I like to talk.
Yeah.
Apparently that means I can run shit.
Right
into the ground!
Right into the ground.
That's half the battle.
Yeah.
How come
Most
The
of it.
Hills Have Eyes isn't your favorite movie?
It is. It is. And I have to say that because my mom.
But
But
actually obligated to say that.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about Dawn of the Dead and Halloween 1 and 2, and the Hills Have Eyes is in my top 5. You know, so
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. To your point of Exorcist and Home and just scared me. My favorite is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
The original.
Yeah, the original.
And that one was so visceral and no gore.
Very little.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was shot very documentary style because that's where Tobe Hooper kind of came from, as did Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Like The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, which is also incredibly unnerving.
Yeah.
And so that's one of my Texas Chainsaw is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, or just because I can still watch it and I know I'm gonna get a nightmare.
That's what you're shooting.
I keep going back. I'm a glutton for punishment.
I need a night fight tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then like with The Witch, you have these contemporary horror films that are amazing dramatic pieces.
Yeah.
And like Hereditary is that for me.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I watched that. I thought that was the dumbest fucking movie. And then I got nightmares that night. I'm like, oh, there's something here.
Oh.
So I had to revisit that. I'm like, you're right, honey. This is actually a very good film.
It was unnerving.
Yeah.
It was very unnerving.
Very, very much
So why is it unnerving to you? Like, does it remind you of something? Or
So it's unnerving. Just so you got the cultish aspects to it that seem to go back to very Druid-esque times, and then but specifically the last 10 minutes where all of a sudden batshit crazy just happens, and there's for me at the moment there was no rhyme or reason.
Right.
Watch it a second time, you can pick up on all the little hints and stuff. And then you realize that the whole film and all the dramatic pieces that would normally happen in real life, just they have their own rules.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think with that too, we should probably wrap this thing up. And guys, it was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
To chat with you.
It's rad.
Yeah. Mutiny is an amazing place. It's kind of Elise and I's home away from home.
There's an Elvira pinball machine.
There is. That's my friend Ryan Poliskis. He owns all the pinball machines everywhere.
Right.
So yeah, he's constantly replacing them and turning them over. And then he also has his own haunted house, horror house fest pinball tournament of death.
Oh wow!
So you go through this haunted house. And
Here's a movie idea there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. If you lose, you die. Ryan, if you take that, yeah, exactly. Well, you got to spread it out. You might have to hire 45 Grave to do the soundtrack. I'm just saying. They don't come cheap, and they're worth it.
That's right.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate it. And for everybody out there, go to HQ 60 South Broadway tonight, starting at 8 o'clock, which is just a few minutes away. These got to go to the venue and get set up and everything, but go get your tickets and have a fun zombie prom with 45 Grave.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. Guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And to everybody out there, thanks guys for tuning in. Want to say special thanks to good old Hellfire Media for broadcasting us on your social media. Of course, our friends here at Mutiny Cafe. It's great to be back. And my face is partly cut off, but who gives a shit? And, of course, our friends at Groovy TV. Groovy, you passed away last year, but we carry on in your stead. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good night. Remember, we love you. And take care.